Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Giada, for the warm invitation. So happy to be back here after 3 years of COVID. This unexpected pandemic has not only changed the way of life we were familiar with before, but it also greatly changed our attitude towards life and even reshaped our perspective on reality. So today I want to share my thoughts with you about how perspective can shape reality. Have you ever felt stuck in your life and unable to move forward? Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility and the pressure of survival? Most of us, as we grow up, we find that the moments of worries are much more than the moments of happiness. So when we see a happy child, we might think, oh, this is the price of growing up. Unfortunately, this is true. As we grow up, we do gradually lose some abilities to be happy. The most important reasons for that is we have gradually lose our ability to believe. When we were kids, we believed in our parents unconditionally. As long as they're around, we felt happy and secure. And there was a time that we also believed in ourselves. We felt like we could do anything. Like me, when I was a kid, I always imagined that I could be a Kung Fu heroine, could just travel around and do justice. Not only that I imagined, I also put it into action. There's a practice of flying skills written in those martial arts novels, which I was obsessed about. The specific training method is to stand in a hole for about 1 meter deep. Then you tie your legs with heavy sandbags. Then you jump as hard as possible. One day, if you can jump out of that hole and I untie the sandbags, you are be able just to fly up to the treetop. Make a lot of sense, right? So every Saturday night, while my mom was out for regular meetings, I would tie my legs with sandbags. You know, it's not real sandbags, it's the bags full of books, and jumped as hard as possible. Unfortunately, the training didn't last long. After just a few weeks, the downstairs neighbor came to my mom and complained, so my secret training plan was revealed and forced into a stop. Now, let's forward the clock to 20 years later. The girl became an actress and was fortunate enough to have achieved some success in her career. But instead of being an heroine, she became a victim in real life. A victim of slander and cyberbullying. These slanders were mainly sex-related rumors, which were followed by massive slut-shaming. She was stuck in a deep, dark hole in life in which she had no strength to jump anymore because she was devastated by the dark side of humanity she witnessed. She was confused and depressed because she couldn't understand why people would be so cruel and vicious towards the other people they would never met. She didn't know the situation she encountered has actually been the primitive method of preying on women for hundreds of years. Those slanders were not just erasing a woman's effort at her work. Such slander can destroy a woman socially and, in many cases, can kill them physically. So she tried to avoid social media as much as she could and told herself just focus on work, which would prove everything. But the rumors didn't stop. They just got worse and worse. What she didn't know was that in the age of the internet, rumors has become a secret recipe to get, a lot of traffic online. The more outrageous the rumor, the more clicks they will be. And the clicks bring advertising. Advertising brings money. She's stuck in this situation for more than a decade. As grown-ups, we often feel lonely and helpless. We're trying to cope with all difficulties in life, most of the time alone. We won't share these moments with our parents anymore because we don't want to make them worry, and also because they can no longer help with the complicated situations in our lives anymore. They are getting old and vulnerable. It's time for us to protect them. And of course, the heroic myths of childhood have long been shattered. And in front of us is the true face of reality, which is harsh. What should we rely on as adults? Where should we get strength from? What should we believe? Fortunately, life sometimes shows its compassionate side, throwing us a rope ladder and providing us with opportunities to climb out of a deep hole. This decisive moment came along with this book, A Guide for the Perplexed by E.F. Schumacher. I can still vividly see the moment when I opened this book. It was an incredibly peaceful afternoon with the sun gently streaming through the window, illuminating the room. In the book, all existence is divided into 4 levels, from low to high: inorganic matter, plant, animal, and human. The process from low to high is also a process from passive to active. This was a moment of epiphany. I saw my level of existence so clearly when I facing slander and cyberbully. I was like a plant without even the initiative of an animal. Animals would resist when they are harmed, but I was more like a still plant, simply letting people trample on me. The reason why humans exist in the highest realm among the 4 is because humans have the most proactive. Humans have self-awareness and the right to active choice, which brings human closer to God. And it's also the most noble aspect of being human.